Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to a first in the series of challenges, not just for OpenTTD, but for other games too. Now, the idea of a challenge is that I will specify a challenge, I will provide you guys with the information to take part in the challenge, and I will then take on the challenge myself. Now, as per the title of the video, this is the Max Hard Mode Challenge. So what I've done is I've taken a vanilla version of OpenTTD with all default settings, and then I've gone through those settings to make it as hard as possible. So construction costs are maxed out, the vehicle running costs are maxed out, we've got infrastructure maintenance turned on, and recessions turned on as well, and a few other smatterings of difficultness thrown in. So how do you take part? Well, you download the file, you play the file, and submit it to me. To download it, go to my website masterhellish.net or follow the link in the video description, and in there you'll find the saves for the challenge videos. Download the appropriate challenge and load it up into OpenTTD. Then you need to play it, and this challenge is a 3-hour challenge. Now, you don't have to play for a solid 3 hours, but your total play time must be 3 hours for this challenge. Then, once you've done 3 hours of gameplay, save your game, take a screenshot of both your operating profit and your company value, and you can send it to us on the OpenTTD channel in my Discord. I'll then take a look at these, and I'm sure we'll have a conversation about the various different techniques involved from all the different approaches that everybody takes. And just for a bit of fun, I will pin a comment to this video and post people's high scores in that comment. So there we go, folks. Just download the game, have a go, see if you can do better than me, and enjoy the challenge. Right, well, there you go. That's what the challenge is and how you can do it. The only thing left to do is to have a go at the challenge myself. Okay, I haven't seen the map yet. I haven't done any preparations, but I'm going to unpause and let's go. Okay, so relatively smallish world. There's some big towns down there. Okay, I think I'm just going to go straight away with towns, and I'll explain my reasoning and stuff in just a moment. We start with 100,000, but then there's inflation. So because the year, it's 320 odd grand. We've already lost some of it. Okay, let's get a railway station in. Oh god, I need to be quicker than this. Right, this one looks quite good. Oh, but it's on wibbly land. Right, okay, let's go down the list a little bit more. Yeah, coast, it's not great. That one's a good one. If we could go north... Yeah, right, got one. Let's see if I can build a railway line and not run out of money. Okay, so I'm going with 7 tracks. There's a piece of road here hiding at the back, so we'll just blow up one piece of road. Hopefully the town local authority will still allow us to do what we want. I'll put 2 bits of track in because I want to be able to put a depot on the end there. And then we'll come north. Because we're saving money to begin with, I will go around that piece of water. But then what I'll do is I'll try and get myself back up to the same place where we were before. So by doing something like this. So then I can go over that bit later. And I will just keep heading up and keep an eye on the money. We're going to single track line for now. And ideally I want to get over here. And I think I'm going to have to put my station this way around. The coverage is not going to be the best. Yeah, the coverage is not great, but we can improve that. We can improve that. We just need to get a line running. Okay, we've got to go over some land here. That's not very good land. But I guess we could come up round and... Yeah, okay, let's do something like that. So we're going to get to here. Go up, and then maybe go up again a little. Again, in the future, I would love to even this out a little bit. I don't want to go across too much farmland. Oh no! Spent some money there, and I didn't mean to. Let's undo the transparency, but then just like change. Oh no, leave the trees. There we go. Okay, so then here, coming out of this station, I'm going to put another node on there. Oh, yeah. Right. Let's just do a corner. It's not nice, but in the future we'll make it better. Hopefully, if we ever have the money. Right, we've got enough money for a train still. Oh my goodness. I hope we've got enough money for a train. Oh, this is going to be close. Okay, the line's in. We've only got 173,000 left. New vehicles. I'm going to go with the cheapest train possible. We're going to go 1 mail car, 2 passengers, 1 mail car, 2 passengers. That ratio is roughly okay. Mail car, 2 passengers. Right. That will do for now. That leaves us a 70 grand buffer while this train gets going. We're going to tell it to go here and full load to begin with. And then all the way up here and then go there. And we'll tell that one to be a full load as well. Because on the first journey, there's no citizens waiting. Look, they're celebrating, but there's nobody at the station. And there's nobody at the station until you get a line going. Okay, so we've got 1 train, 2 stations, and a line between them. And that's really the base minimum. I would like to get better coverage over here. I don't know if the town's going to let me, but I can give it a try. So the maximum, where's our station? So our station starts here, and the maximum station spread I think is 12. So spread stations, doing spread stations is something that's kind of, some people think you should do it. Some people think, you know, why not do it? Why not do it? And other people are like, oh, don't do it. It's cheaty. But to me, it's difficult. Oh no. Let's delete that piece of road. Some people are going to do it, and some people won't want to. But I feel if some people are going to do it, I will also do it too. Right then, so there's our train station. And if you don't know what I mean by spread stations, is that what I'm doing is I'm getting a road tile there, and I'm holding control and building a joint station between those two things. And if you then click on the station and click the coverage, you see the coverage then covers the entire city, not just the bit around the train station, and that gets you more people. So in theory, I think we've got the entire coverage of this particular town. Passengers last month, not many, but the maximum is 238 and mail is 113. So that means if we cover the entire city, there is a potential for over 340 units of goods to be available each month for us at that station. Compare that to the industries, and this is why I started, one of the 2 reasons why I started with passengers. Okay, it might be a bad idea, but I'm doing it, right? So if we look at produced cargo, if you look at the cargo payment rates, one of the best ones is valuables, but again, a bank gives you like 3 valuables a month. Ignore that. Goods, not a primary. You need to be able to deliver stuff to get goods. Ignore that. That then leaves you with coal. Okay, so that's next best giver. And if we look at coal and the amount of production of coal, the best coal mine on the map is 198 tons. Okay, so 198 units. And that's the best industry on the entire world map. And I just picked one of those towns to cover. Okay, right, how much is this train going to make us? It's not quite there yet, so we need to keep an eye on it to see how much money it's going to make us. It's full of 240 passengers and 90 bags of mail. It's not going very quick because it's the cheaper one, but I'd rather get a cheaper one that has a little bit less income than run out of money. I was really worried that I wasn't going to have enough for any carriages. It's pointless having an engine with no carriages, isn't it? And obviously in the future, this train won't be struggling to go up hills quite as much because I will do better hills and things. Oh god, it's really slowed down now. Okay, so that's one of the reasons. One of the reasons, like I said, the best coal mine can't match a city in terms of production. The other reason for not going with general cargo rather than passengers and mail is that you only get money in one direction. So you pick up your coal, you go to the power station, and on the way back you get nothing. With passengers and mail, you're going to get that in both directions. So they're the 2 reasons. Now you could do a bi-directional coal route. But on the map like this, let's get rid of the town names and show industries. We have 4 power plants. Okay, there's 2 right in the middle over here, 1 on the far right hand side and 1 at the top. Ideally what you'd need is a power plant at the top and a power plant at the bottom and coal mines near them to be able to do a bi-directional route. And the map's not that big compared to some of our multiplayer games. For 3 hours this is plenty, and we're now 10 minutes in and our train hasn't made its first delivery yet, and we've only got 57,000 left in the bank account. So hopefully we're going to get a good delivery very soon. Okay, here we go. How much money do you think? I reckon 70 grand. 70 grand? Is that a bit hopeful? I think it might be. 40? 45. Okay, so my initial 70 was too hopeful. I revised that down. And you can see now it's now loading. There wasn't any passengers here, but there will be soon, and that's loading up. And back down the other end, how much have we got? Oh my goodness, 427 passengers. What's our capacity again? Our capacity is maximum capacity 240. So we've got about 2 trains worth. Okay, so now we've got money coming in. My next objective will be to improve and expand this line. So I think what we'll do is we'll see about sorting out this kink, because I want to dual this section of track, and then I want to dual this section of track down here as well and get a second train on the line so that we've got some back and forth. Now, do I want to dual this before going to another town? I don't know. Tell you what I do know. I need to get some bus services going in this town. And the reason being is I want this town to grow. It's only a 3-hour challenge, but I do still feel that in 3 hours we can grow a town and grow it enough so that it's significant. Now the only thing is that if we have more bus services in the town, so like one there, one there, one there, and I'm not sure. Let's try and spread it out a bit. I suppose we could build a little bit of road here. I don't want to build too much because it costs a lot of money, and we could put one there. If we just get like a couple of vehicles going round, hopefully they won't cost us too much money. I don't want to do too much because, like I said previously, the profit margins on this sort of level of difficulty is tiny. Okay, go to... Oh, wait, hang on a minute. Can't share. Oh, there we are. I clicked the wrong one. Share orders. There we go. Right. So we now got some vehicles going in this town. Hopefully that will help it grow. Our train's on its way back. There is probably 1 trillion passengers down here now. Wow, 608. Okay, we definitely need to get some more passengers. 608. Oh my goodness. Right. How much will it cost us to just go over the corner of this? £233,000. Yeah, we're not doing that. Wow. We're going to go round. Okay, like I said, we'll improve it later, but right now, no. I think that will do. I'm just adding that tiny bit to begin with. We're going to add more. But the idea is if I double up this line up to somewhere about here, and then we double this line up to somewhere about here, then if the 2 trains are going in the opposite directions, they can wait for each other to get out the way of the station. We do need 2 trains, but it's going to take a while for us to get enough money via this one. It was making, what, 45, 50 grand a trip. Now, you've got to bear in mind, that first trip, it was waiting at the station for quite a while because there wasn't already passengers there sat waiting. And for the second trip, it's a similar sort of situation. There wasn't any passengers sat around waiting. But over here, now there are passengers sat around waiting. So when the train comes in, it'll load, unload and go. It might make more money on its third journey than it did on its first or second. So... let's see how much it makes here. It's probably going to be around the 45 mark again. What's it full on? Full on almost everything, except we've got one passenger carriage that's got some availability in there. And it comes out at 48, so it's slightly more. But you can see it's just filling up straight away, and it's going to do its return journey. So our money is going up nicely. What we don't really want is these 2 road vehicles to be running at a massive loss. I kind of feel like we need them. A loss throughout... Oh, yeah, that one made 70 quid. Okay, I'll keep an eye on them. We'll do the same thing in this city. So let's go... there we go. Let's put one over here. One over there. I don't want to block off the city too much. That one's connected. We don't want that connected. Hold control. Build a separate station. There we go. There we go. And because we're on default settings, the towns are all doing their wiggly road networks instead of a nice grid. Oh, hang on. We need a bus depot somewhere. There we go. 2 vehicles going to all of these stations. Did I get one more than once? I think I might have accidentally see. Oh no, I accidentally clicked the depot. There we go. And then we can clone it and send them on the way. Right then. So we'll leave it there, and we'll jump forward, and hopefully the train's making enough money for us to get a second train, and be able to then upgrade the line so that we can fit our second train in. And yeah, there we go. We'll see how that goes. Right, our train's done a couple more trips. It's just heading into the depot. We've got 97,000 in the bank account, and it's about to go into the station. We might get 50 on this one. It did go to the depot, so that does take a little bit of time extra on its journey. Let's see what we're going to get. 14%, come on, 10, and 53. Nice. Okay, so we've got enough money for another train, so I'm going to build that train right now. I'm going to clone this one, send it on its way, and immediately come down here and add in those extra signals. So, one signal going that way, and one signal going that way. And then what I'll do is I'll use the rest of our money to extend this line up so that we can have a bigger pass in place. These are the buses, and what I've done is I've grouped them by shared orders so we can see how the 2 vehicles together are doing in each city. So in one city they made a little bit of a loss last year, 241, and so far by April they've got a bit of a loss here. The other ones made a profit of 827, so I think roughly looking at this, the road vehicles are in profit for the year. Let's have a look. Revenue for road vehicles last year was 8 grand. Expenses, operating expenses, was less than 8 grand. So the road vehicles are not costing us, and that's important. Okay, good. Right then, our trains are going quite nicely. We've got one coming back here, one going back there. I think, yeah, we do need a couple more trains. So what I'll do is I'll save up, buy a train, and then we'll do another line. Okay, by my reckoning, that's enough for another train now, so I'm going to clone this one, send it on its way. I do feel that having more trains that aren't quite as good as what they could be is going to be better than having less trains. Like, it's better to have 4 trains delivering and going up and down than that are a little bit too short and a little bit slow than it would be to just have 1 or 2 big, long, fast trains. I think. Not 100% sure. Right, we haven't quite got enough money for the second train, but hopefully now we've got 3 trains going. That won't take long, and then we can start our second line and look to really grow. Right then. Another one dropping off here. We've got 39 grand in the bank. 33, that wasn't that much. Was it because it was a slower journey, maybe? Oh, it probably went to the depot and it took a while. What about this one? 41. Okay, that's enough money for another one. So we've got 1 train here and 1 going there. So let's do another train at this end. Oh, we haven't got enough money? 14 grand now. This inflation is... Oh, it's one of the challenges with these particular hard settings. I'm not sure we've got enough signals. I think we have. In theory, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks on the main line. And then the station themselves are another block. So that's 4 on the line and 1 at either end, a total of 6. In theory, this can work up to 5 trains, but I wouldn't really want to run like 4 or more. Okay, so when this train arrives, we'll have enough money for our 4th train, and we can move on to a new one. I do really think this passenger thing is working. Let's have a look at our operating profit. Oh, it did dip down to begin with, but overall, it looks like we're going up nicely. I will have a look at the industries, and we'll check out a couple of options, but they really need to be good give, like, for example, I think maybe good old coal could come back again. If we could get these 71 tons, maybe if we do a short distance to a power station, drop it off and see how that works. But if you're doing this challenge, I would highly recommend against going in with an aircraft. I mean, for example, look, a small airport, if I make sure I'm holding shift to do this, it only costs you 31,000 for an airport, but we are playing with infrastructure maintenance turned on. Okay. Now at the moment, I'm paying 21,000 a year for infrastructure maintenance. If you had a couple of large airports, that would easily add 2 million onto that. So you have been warned. Okay, I think we have enough money now. Let's quickly pop a train in. Yep, there we go. Right, 4 trains. Brilliant. Let the money roll in. Second line, even more money, more lines, more money, more lines, more money. Here we go. Okay, 161,000 in the bank account and the trains are moving. Time to get in our next railway line. Like I said, I want to go from all the way from Midworth Falls over here down to Trundingbury. It's going to cost a good bit of money, and I really am not sure about where... Oh yeah, we're going to have to just get rid of those 2 bits of road, and that's where the station's going to go. Again, I'm going to start with a 1-track station, but I expect these to expand at some point in the future, and we'll start with a 1-track line as well. We just need to make sure that the town doesn't expand around the station too much. And I think what we'll do is we'll start this end, go across, because then there's the chances we'll go up. And if the town will let us, I would like to get rid of this. What do they think of us? Very good still. Okay. Do you still think we're very good? Good. Still good. Still good. Okay. Nice. We can get our train station in here. Did get rid of a lot of the town there, but that's not too much of a problem. And I'm going to just cut the corner of that hillside off a little bit. And there too. I suppose I didn't need to do that one. And then I'm going to come out here diagonally. Now for this line, I'm going to spend a little bit more money on niceties. Only a little bit more. So I'm going to dig here a little bit so that we've got at least a train length before we then go up. So that's 5. Let's go to 6. Is that 7 in length? Yeah, and then we'll go up, and then we'll carry on going across. Now, it would be nice to delete the water, but water costs an absolute fortune. I know it does. These bridges cost a good bit of money, but how fast are the vehicles really going to go? I suppose there's not a lot of money difference between those top few. Okay, we'll spend the 12 grand. Yeah, if we wanted to delete a piece of water, I'll make sure I'm holding shift. £42,000. Absolutely astonishing. And then I guess really this should be a total of... Wow. That's 8 in total. So yeah, let's go from there. Now, what we can potentially do is just go straight through this diagonally and then figure it out later. I'm going to redo this bit of track sometime soon anyway. So when I redo this bit of track, I can work it out so that we go over here in a better way. I don't really want to go straight through this farmland. Look, it's going to cost an absolute fortune, but there's a lot of farmland here, and I need to get across somehow. Like, there's a farm up there. There's a farm there. There's 3 farms. What's the output? Okay, 90 tons of grain there. 99 tons of livestock there. 117 tons of livestock. So it's not terrible. Not terrible at all. But yes, I'm just generally trying to go as diagonal-ish as possible. We'll go up the hill and into the station and get some trains running and all of that. So if we keep going for a little bit, let the money build up, and then hopefully we can get our second line going. Okay, I've just managed to connect that line. It is just one big long line. There's no doubleness about it or anything like that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save up for a proper train. And by proper train, I mean a faster train and a full length of carriages, a full complement of carriages. And once I've purchased that, we'll look at maybe getting... or we'll have to do a bit of upgrade to the line, but then we'll get a second one. I'm pretty sure this service is going to do me pretty good. And whilst I'm waiting for that money to roll in, I will get a little tiny bus service running in these towns, the same as the other towns. So, a little tiny bus, and... bus. No? Oh, okay. Here. No? Oh, they hate me. Good. Brilliant. That's not what I wanted. Never mind. Let's get... We've got, what, 4 in? 3 in? That'll do. Okay, originally I was going to get the brand new train, but looking at the new vehicles, because we're playing with mostly default settings, we're playing with breakdowns turned on, and the reliability of the A4 is only 77%, where the original steam engine is still 88%. And I think out over those long distances, that might actually be a difference. But then again, the speed, 128 compared to 64. I think that speed's going to be worth the difference. So, you know what? I was thinking about going for the Kirkby, but no. We are going to go with the brand new one. We've got nearly 200,000 in the bank account. So we'll buy that, and let's see if we've got enough for all the mail cars and passenger carriages. So let's start with 3 of them and some... Oh, we just ran out of money. Okay, so we want to go for a maximum of 7 length, and we want a mixture of mail cars and passenger carriages. You want slightly over a third, roughly. I mean, you could do a spreadsheet to work out the exact amount, but yes, yeah, slightly over a third. These ones seems to be doing okay. They're transferring and moving around this line fine. There's not a massive amount of passengers each time, so the trains are actually now having to sit there and wait. So we might have too many trains in one view, but then we've got good ratings because our trains are sat there loading, and hopefully that is also then, as the town grows, we'll be able to get more and more passengers through there on the latter part of this challenge. Okay, so you've just paid, you're about to pay... So we've got a few more grand to get off train, 43,000, okay. Right, so let's go back here and the other 2 passenger carriages and get that mail car on there. Okay, now that's 6 in length. Let's go for 1 more of each to get our full 7 length train. That might not quite be right on the ratios, but we could always tweak it in the future. I know it's got too few orders. I'm just about to give it its orders. Full load here, go to the other side, and full load again. And away. There we go. We got our second line up and running. Now on this side, I did put some bus stations in, but that's part of the station spread to try and capture as much of the town as possible. There we are. Look at that. Our first full-length train, a faster train. This train will be going quicker, so in theory we should get more money. And it's also longer, so we should get more money. I'm interested to know how much we're going to get from that train. This town doesn't like me very much. They think I'm very poor, which means I don't think they'll allow me to get a station in here in any sort of meaningful way. So, yeah, the local authority refuses to allow it still, so never mind. Maybe we could have a shuttle service. So if we get maybe a train, a smaller train from this town, and we pick up from there and drop off at this station, just kind of feed extra passengers into it and then use the main line. We could do the same thing down here at Sanimbury. Pick up as many people as possible, shuttle them into this station, and then send all those trains down that main line. Not something we can really do here because there's no nearby town. There is a small town nearby over there, but I don't think it's worth the railway because, remember, the kind of profit margins on these game settings are really quite small. It's going to be difficult to actually make much money out of that. But I'm quite happy with the money we're making at the moment, and this train is going to be pretty fantastic, I think. So let's see how it goes. It is now full. It's now making its way. Let's find out. Of course, it goes to the depot, but once it gets to the other end, let's find out how much money it's really going to make. For some reason, the train can't get to where it's trying to go to. Midworth Falls, is that the right station? Yes. Okay, so what am I missing here? Is there a piece of track? Oh no, there, look. Oh. Right, okay, well we'll just have to have a little kink in there. We'll even that. When we dual the track up, we'll use one side for one side of the track, and we'll use the other piece for the other side of the track. and that'll even itself out. So when we get that multi-line in the future, we'll be all right. But here we go. Let's find out how much this is going to make when it gets there. Right then, here we go. We're pulling into the station now, and this train did actually have a problem pathing, so it didn't go on its journey straight away. So we're going to get a little less than before, but still 116,000. That's quite good, which means we'll be able to afford another train soon, and we'll add that line. We'll get that line doubled up. But that's actually the first hour, and not a bad start for the first hour. We've got a relatively good operating profit that seems to be slowly, I mean, there's a bit of up and down, but it seems to be slowly going up. So let's see if we can keep pushing that through the next 2 hours. Good. Right. Haha. So once this second line is bi-directional in both directions, and we've got the towns growing nicely. This one's only got 3 bus stations. I need to get another one in there. This one hasn't got any bus stations in. They think I'm poor, which is okay. The coverage is good. It's not the best, but it's good. And we could probably get some road vehicles in at the back here somewhere. So, yeah, let's turn transparency on. So if we go station there, and there. So we've got 4 in. Then we'll pop a depot here next to it. Good. New vehicles, bus, build, go between these places. And actually, before the first one, go to the depot and unbunch. And then we'll clone it using controls so that we get shared orders and send them both on their way. How are the road vehicles doing? Let's have a look. Let's group them by shared orders. Let's see. So last year, they were in profit, which is fantastic. Okay, so that's the bus service done over there. Bus services done over here. We need our local authority. Oh, they think we're poor now. Fantastic. Okay, I mean, it's not fantastic they think we're poor, but I think we can actually now get away with a bit of stations. So, Falls. Yep. Falls. What's the catchment of this coverage, of this station looking like? Okay, it's quite good for most of it. We're missing some in the middle and some on the west. Okay, so some on the middle. Let's put one here. And some down here. There. Okay, so the catchment now is much better. This train should load quicker. And the local authorities still think we're poor, which is good, because that means we can get our 4th bus station in and add it to the orders. So we want between West and Woods. There, that'll do the job. Okay, so now we have 2 lines, each line going between 2 cities. Each city has bus stations in it to help the city grow. And the 2 lines are mostly double track, but not completely. Right, so there we go. We've got buses going around those towns as well. So now we've got 6 cities on the growing situation. And we've got 2 different railway lines with plenty of trains going between them. This one, way too much stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this one off from full loading. Okay, we'll do whatever it takes, and then we'll go back and full load at the other end. Otherwise, the trains will never come back. So we've got enough money for a new train, so let's get a new train, throw it on the network. And then out of these 2, which one's the one that keeps having a lot more? I mean, what's the potential production? That is about 380. This one, yeah, it's a lot less. Okay, so what we're going to do is get these trains to not full load at Worthingbourne. There we go. So many pop-up messages going along. Citizens celebrating all of these new bus stops that we've put in. Money's coming in nicely. Plenty of passengers to shift there. Not so many there, but we have got our train coming in. The ratings are excellent here as well. Good. Okay. Let's have a look at our operating profit. Oh, yes. We started off pretty slow. and then started to gain some momentum. It rose up and now it's gone up lots. I'll be interested to know what that goes up again in the next section. Okay, with our lines running and $500,000 in the bank account, it's time to repay that loan. Let's get it gone, and that's going to save us like 12 grand a year. It's not a massive amount of money, but it's just done. It's saved. Right, do we need any more? Oh, good, yes. Yes, we might even need a second platform here for loading. That one's fine. Definitely need another train though, so let's clone that and send it in. Right, what else have we got on the island that is going to be really potentially useful for this? So we're going to sort by population. So we are in the top 3 towns, then we're in 3 of the next 4. So let's look at the 2 we're not in. This one, Southampton. Is that Southampton? It's one of the biggest. And Kinnerley. I think Southampton is a very good candidate for throwing passengers into Arthingbourne and doing a transfer service, just like we did with these 2. The only difference is it'll probably just be on one end. Lovely. The only thing I did forget is a depot on here. Oh. We don't want a depot down there. We want a depot up here, please. Good. Is there any 90-degree turns there? No, there isn't. Let's clone one of the trains from over here. And then give it some new orders. So we're going to say full load here, come down there and transfer. This might actually end up being the busiest station on the line. Right. That's in. Now we need to make sure we're spread and we've got buildings for growing. We are almost halfway through the challenge. So let's see here. How far back into the town can we get? Oof. Around here. Okay. Depot. Train. Clone. That one. Oh, we ain't got the money. I spent too much on land stuff. Let's have a look at the operating profit. As a general rule, things are really shooting up now. I mean, we had a little bit of a dip just there. Remember, construction and new vehicles and like land, terraforming and things like that don't count towards the operating profit. Okay, that one seems to be doing quite well. There's a lot of passengers sat there. Actually, a little short on passengers here by the looks of it. Are we're full load any cargo? Why are we not full on mail then? We are full on mail. Is it because we're still in the middle of loading and there's still passengers to take? I think it is. I've been staying away from industries because, I mean, you look at the amount of, let's go to one of these larger towns and just say, look, the potential, right, for passengers in this town is like 450 units a month, right? What industry on the map is going to get to that particular, production? We've got a farm with 128 lots of livestock. Let's have a look at the payment rates. So for the payment rates, let's ignore valuables. And goods is not a primary industry. We'd have to do something to get the goods, so we'll move that. The next one is coal, closely followed by steel. Oil is actually quite low down on the list. I thought it'd be a little bit higher. So in theory, we could potentially look at coal mines. But this one's like, what, 180 tons of coal. I suppose if we've got 2 primary resources next to one station, that could be good. So let's have a look at the world map. We'll go to... Oh, I can't zoom in any more than that. We'll go to industry mode, turn out that. Okay. So what we're doing is we're looking for any primary industry where there's 2 right close to each other. So coal. No, they're all well spread out. Farms. There's kind of a group round here, but again, they're not that close. Forests, no. Iron ore mines, no. There's no oil rigs on the map at the moment. Oil wells, again, they're in the same region, but they're not right next to each other. And that's it. Okay, so we haven't got like 2 coal mines right next to each other that we could exploit. This is the best coal mine on the map, I think. 160 tons. What we could look into doing is a bi-directional coal route. That then makes it more profitable. Let's again have a quick look at the map. So if we went from down south to up north and back again, so for example, we dropped some coal off at this power station, picked some up at this coal mine, came all the way south, dropped some off at the power station, and then picked some up at this coal mine. That would probably be quite profitable. The problem is there's no power station there. So we want to be going top to bottom or left to right, okay, with our line to make it to make it nice and profitable. Funding a power plant will cost 4.7 million. It's a lot of money. We've got 1.9 in the bank, but I'd rather use that money to nurture the routes that we've got. Again, this crossover is not a good idea. I think I should do it. A bi-directional coal route with an extra feeder on either end going up and down the world. I think it needs to be done. Right, let's start planning it out while the money's not here, and then we'll be able to do it. So, this is going to be the North Coal drop-off. And then this, somehow we need to get a station in, probably over here. Might have to put some land near it. Or we could put the station in down here and do a little spread. So then this would be North Coal pickup. And then we come down here. We would fund the power station here. So this would be the South Coal drop-off. And then do the South Coal pickup there. And then we would do... Is that really the closest car? That one? This would be the North Secondary Coal Mine that would then feed across. Just double check out on the world map. Coal mines. Yes, that's the closest one. So then this one would be the South feeder coal mine. I put secondary up here, wouldn't I? Okay. Yeah, and we'd have a route that went straight down there, and then we'd have a route that would go straight up here. Maybe even over this water. It's challenging. Could we then also collect extra coal on the way? Let's have a look at the map again. I mean, I could use this one to feed across up into the north. And then this one to feed across down into the south. I think we could actually put a dual feed in. But then, like, this coal would be going up here and then back down again. And I don't know how the calculations work for being able to make that profitable or not. I think that would work though. Like, you know, two coal mines, a drop off and a drop off. Just need the money now. Okay, I think it's about time that this station got doubled up. It says flatland required, so I'll just give it a boost. There we go. Hopefully there's not going to be a crash there. There we go. That should be fine. And then we can have multiple trains loading at the same time if there's enough resources. Did we put full load? We didn't put full load on this end. Okay. I will put a full load on there. So, you know what? I will fund that right now. We want a power plant right in this gap, please. Good. Okay, that may be an investment that pays off in the last third of this challenge and then absolutely makes our operating profit skyrocket, or that might be an investment that doesn't actually make anything happen. We'll have to actually build the line and figure it out. So let's get the stations in to start. I think what we'll do is all of them need to be row. We'll start with 2 tracks to begin with, and then we'll see how it goes. We'll put that there, and I'm going to get this one as far away from that one as possible to try and just get them round a corner. I mean, ideally, for speed's sake, this probably should be on that side. There we go. And then we want a crossover over here. Oh, I keep going wrong. Speed building. Oh, remove. There we go. And we're going to need some depots on this line, but I don't think I'm going to put the depots near the station. So we'll put a little gap, and I did the same little mistake there. Oh, do we need a crossover on the exit? I think we will put the station here, because if I do that and this, we can go out that far, and then if I do that, oops. I mean, that works. There's not going to be too much of a problem about that. Okay, so we can get rid of this sign and that sign. And we get rid of these signs as well, because we've got the stations in place now. Now I just need to build the track between the two and get the trains going. Let's get these up and rolling. We haven't got a lot of money after building all this. Has that got coal at it yet? No, probably not. We'll start at the bottom. New vehicles. A really good steam train. It's going to cost a lot of money. And an absolute ton of coal trucks. The maximum we can have to fill in the train length. We're going to go here, full load all the way down the line, unload there, full load here, and come all the way back down and go. Right. Brilliant. We do need some more depots though, so we've only got one at each end plus a bonus one here. Could probably do with some along the way. Yeah, let's put some in like here. And there's going to be a good number of trains on this line, but not a ridiculous number of trains. So I'm going to just put some double depots in. They could be off the line and some special things, but no. I'm not going to go absolutely crazy with it. And I feel like we could probably get some in here as well. So let's just make sure we've got the land to put it on. One there, one here. Good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go here. I'm going to clone this train, give it exactly the same orders, control clone it. But then before I release it, I'm going to change things up a little. And that's going to get this station starting to load coal. So I'm going to skip it to that full load order here. So we kind of, it skipped the first half of the journey. We've got a train at each end. So they're both starting to full load. Good. Right. We've got about 50 minutes of the challenge left and they're rolling. Let's quickly check the other stations to see how things are going. Sort by, total weight in cargo. Nothing building up a massive amount, and that's a good thing. And operating profit, looking healthy. And I think with the money that we've got now, the time that we've got left, I don't think any new major network is in order. I mean, I think we've pretty much got the entire network that we're going to have on this island. We've got 40 minutes to improve. Oh, maybe 40 minutes is probably enough to put a little new line in. But we've done all the big services already. We've done all the big towns. And we're trying to work on getting good money out of this coal route. Speaking of which, if we group the trains by shared orders and sort by total profit last year? Yeah, I suppose. We've got... we've got some coal trains here. Oh, let's do this year. Total profit this year. We're in July. So total profit this year is the most profitable one, obviously one of the main lines and one of the other main lines. But our bi-directional coal route is already up to 3rd place. Grenning Hall. Lots of coal, but also trains picking up. We haven't got any money because we keep upgrading all the trains. So hopefully upgrading the trains will also increase our operating profit. Yep. That bi-directional coal route. I spent 4 million on that thing. And if we look at the trains, the bi-directional coal route is the 2nd best line we have. It's the 2nd best line we have at the moment. And it's still building up. If you'd have started with the bi-directional coal route, I think you'd have struggled because it's a lot of infrastructure to put down. And while it does make a profit, it would have been a slow burn towards the beginning because I've been able to just throw those trains on there, but you'd have had to wait a long time for a train to make a journey, make a bit of money. Maybe it's not enough money for another train, so you have to wait a long time for the train to come back. So I think doing the things the way that we did was good. And I'm also what's the progress on the upgrades? Okay, so we have 20 new vehicles now and only 11 old ones. Fantastic. Okay, so that's all of those vehicles replaced now, so we can stop replacing them and forget about it. We got 2.9 million in the bank account, and I think I've got a statue of a company owner in pretty much every town. I mean, that one hasn't, but it's a tiny town. What about this one? That one has as well. So I think that's all of them now. Things are going well okay up here. Right then, with not long left to go, I've got a couple of trains I don't really need, so I'm getting rid of them. We've got a few too many on this coal line. You can see we've got one loading at 90%, one at 100, so these two really not needed. We'll let that one wait, but we will get rid of this one. Don't need it. Too many. Overall, I think this has gone quite well. I didn't go bankrupt. And I think going passengers was a good thing to do at the beginning. And that gamble for building the power station for the bi-directional coal route, that was quite good. If I go to shared orders, you can see that the coal route is still 2nd in the list. 2nd only to this big diagonal passenger service between the two biggest towns. One of the oil refineries just blew up. And right on the dot, that is 3 hours. So I have paused the game right there. Oh, yeah, definitely pleased about the passenger networks. I think these networks are quite good for what they're needed. Like, none of these stations are super efficient, but they are good enough, quick and easy to build. Like this, there's a single line between these two stations, but that did the job. It did the job plenty. And I'm glad that I was able to cover over the corner of this bit of land here too. So let's look at my kind of final score for this challenge. If we have a look at the company information, you can see that we have a company value of 19.7 million. We've got 34 trains, 16 road vehicles, and we have 8.2 million in the bank account, and our operating profit on the last kind of part, let's swap these over, last part of the game, went up to just over, I would say that's, without knowing exactly, it's about 2.7 million on the operating profit. Absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased with that. Obviously, there are some people out there that could potentially do better than me. So, the challenge is now over to you. Like I said at the beginning of the video, let's see what you guys can do. And all the instructions, remember all of those instructions. But there we go. I managed to get to a company value of 19.7 million, and I managed to get about 2.7 million in operating profit. Do you think you can do better? Do you think you can do it at all? This challenge isn't necessarily very easy. I've had practice at doing things like this. If you haven't played on these max settings, you might find it quite a challenge. But I hope you download the map. I hope you have a go. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you got some ideas for some future challenges as well. You can put them down in the comments. But what I will do, like I said before, I will pin a comment to this video with people's submissions, and I will make a note of what people have managed. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you have too. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.